Did you ever go through something that was so hard that you said, oh my God, it broke my spirit? It didn't break your spirit because your spirit can't be broken. What it did was break the vessel. And that is what this new moon energy is about, breaking free from something that contains you. Swati is about setting yourself apart from the group. The constellation itself, the stars are very far from the ecliptic. So this is about breaking free from the pack. And the point of doing that is because when you are one of many, you don't stand out. So this is the star of individuation. This is the star of you separating yourself from a situation, from a scenario, from a set of beliefs, but setting yourself apart so that you can walk your path in the way that you need to. And you need the freedom of being individuated from the group to be something different. And you need to be able to set yourself apart from the group, go against the grain, be unique, be seen, because your path and your contribution is different than anybody else's. So if somebody's going to hear your voice, if somebody's going to understand what it is that you have to say, you have to speak clearly, and you can't be one of many. You have to be the one. The deity attached to Swati is Vayu, and Vayu is the wind. And wind is associated with prana, and prana is, of course, the life force. So the life force being associated with spirit. Think about when you meditate and you come into an altered state, and that is when the veil is very thin and you blend with spirit. This can be in your meditations. This yin energy can be, some people use marijuana or other substances, but it's that kind of a space that you create where you're blending with spirit so that actually spirit is moving through you. And again, this is the purpose of Swati, is you have work to do in the world, so it's not just that you're meditating to meditate. You meditate to get in touch with yourself. You meditate to get in touch with the cosmic knowledge that is within you in order to have it flow through you. And that's really what Swati is about, is the energy, the spirit moving through you. You are the vessel. So what will happen is you use your own experiences. You use the fountain of your own experiences. Swati creates these playful spaces where we can learn. It's associated with things like video games, virtual reality, science fiction, also dreaming, astral projection. So being in these spaces where we are able to, or we're fully immersed in some other reality, and we have to know the difference. So we have to know, we have to be individuated from that alternate reality. And while it's interesting to talk about in a really hypothetical sense like this, in kind of an esoteric sense, the truth, the actual reality of it is that in our waking lives, we are also immersed in this illusion. We are immersed in belief systems. We are immersed in relationships. We are immersed in situations that they themselves are illusion. And Swati teaches through loss. So while it creates this nice, playful place for you to grow and learn, the ultimate lesson is that it is not you, the person, who is making anything happen. The reason anything happens is because you align with spirit and spirit flows through you, and then it happens. But the key is your alignment with spirit, thus the prana, thus the creation of the space. Some people think it is not a good idea at all to immerse themselves in the material world or to be part of the material world, but that's the only way that you learn. If you are never around people who lie to you, you don't understand what lying is, thus you don't really understand what truth is. If you are in situations where your resolve is not tested, how do you know you have any resolve? If you are in situations where your values are tested, how do you know what your values are? So Swati is about you being an individual and stepping away from group values to recognize your own value. The new moon is a very watery affair. It is going to be very, very emotional. The chart dominants are Pluto, Neptune, and Mars. So you have Neptune, the planet of dreams, entertainment, illusion, the dissolving of barriers, so you're not actually sure what's what. Then you have Mars, the planet of action, the planet of the soldier, the planet of initiation. And you have Pluto, think Hades, the underworld, going through hell, the planet of transformation, the planet of difficulty, the planet of secrets, the planet of things that aren't seen. So you have illusion being cast. Then you have the reality of you've seen the illusion, what are you going to do with it now? And then you have the transformation, the change that occurs, because we never, after we go through hell, we don't emerge the same person. So you have this transformation. So at this point, you have an element of control, but Pluto also takes control away from you. We're coming up on eclipse season, so this is an opportunity for you to still be in control, because when the eclipses come in, things come out, and you have no element of control. It just happens. So preceding eclipses, the universe gives you a lot of opportunity to handle things on your own. Otherwise, the universe will just take care of it for you and align you on your path. Something that works a lot like an eclipse is Uranus, which we have here. You have of the sun and moon, and then you have an opposition with Uranus. What's going to happen is moon is in Swati, sun is in Swati. So it means it's a dark moon, it's very internal. And then you have Uranus, which is in the nakshatra of Bharani. Swati is about loss, Bharani is about loss. The nakshatras teach lessons through loss. Swati is associated with prana, and then Bharani is associated with Yama, the god of death. In breathwork, it's called pranayama. So pranayama. Each time we take a breath, it's a new life. Each time we exhale, it's a new death. So this is the constancy, right, of the spirit flowing through us. All right, now what to pay attention to in this chart is you're in some simulation, you are in some setting, and we'll go through with each sign what is going to happen, but you're in some setting. And in order to step away from the setting, you will be confronted with something. So what will happen? There's a situation you're enmeshed in. There's a situation where maybe you're not running your own program. You're involved in something else. Or there's a set of values you're immersed in, but there's something you're immersed in. And it's opposed to Uranus. So an opposition. And when an opposition occurs, you'll be confronted with something, some information, or the loss of something, and that is going to help you individuate from wherever the new moon is taking place for you. The role of secrets is powerful. Swati is associated with royalty, monarchs, people who marry into royalty. Also, a dominant planet of this new moon chart is Pluto, and Pluto rules plurocracy. What that is a small concentration of power among a group of people, like royals. So watch in the next 2 weeks how secrets about royals may come out, or secrets about power may come out. Now, let's look for a minute about the role of secrets and power in your own life. What's one of the best ways to have power over somebody? Have a secret about them. And the only way that they will not be under your control is when that secret gets exposed. So why don't we more readily expose secrets? Think about all of the things you have to lose. Not like it's a good situation usually if you are immersed in secrets, but there's some reason why you don't call something what it is. There are consequences to calling things what they are. There are tangible losses to calling things what they are. There are losses of relationships, of families, of group associations, if you call things what they are. But lies are part of the illusion, part of the deception. Lies themselves can build a structure, and we get stuck in these structures, government structures, community structures, family structures. The histories that have occurred, the things that have taken place, the things nobody wants to revisit, and they get buried, and then we live with that energy. And everybody living with that energy moves a little differently, communicates a little differently. There's an undercurrent when there are secrets,
and it's unmistakable. The only way to be set free from those secrets is to expose them. But doing so often comes at a loss. And so that's more what this energy is talking about. With the combination of Swati and Uranus and Bharani, two nakshatras that are about loss. But the benefit of it, even if it comes at a loss, you are still set free. Because by exposing a lie, by seeing something that exposes the delusion, then you can be set free from it. Then you can break out of that simulation. Then nobody is casting their illusions on you. You're not under somebody else's spell. You, being set apart from this, can speak your truth. You can be what you are supposed to be, but you will never be that if you live in a system of secrets. The new moon energy is taking place in your 4th house, and 4th house has to do with your origins, your roots, where you are from, your home, your mother. And this will be an intense one. And it will be an intense one because Swati and being able to release yourself from a simulation, from patterns, from belief systems. There are no deeper belief systems than our origins. So something is going to happen. So I'm like, you don't know what you don't know. So they're blind spots because you can't see them. If you knew they were there, you would be able to do something about them, but that's the difficulty. So that's where you're sitting right now. Now, something is going to happen having to do with 10th house issues. And 10th house is career, your work in the world, your public reputation. So Uranus is there, and something is going to happen. You're going to get some information. You are going to lose something. So Uranus, again, the planet of lightning, of sudden changes. Something is going to happen. 10th house matter. And it is going to bring attention to what structures you've been beholden to in the 4th house. 10th house is what the world sees, and 4th house is below the horizon. It's your internal. It's what nobody sees. It's you. It's your private life. It's you behind closed doors. And this is a constant battle that we all have of who we are behind closed doors, especially if we are on a spiritual path, who we are behind closed doors and who we are to the world, and how similar those two look, and what variation there are in those two people. So something is going to come to your attention, and you are going to realize how you have been regarding yourself in terms of your origin, in terms of where you've come from. And you're going to realize some way that that has been impeding you, that has been holding you back. You're going to learn something, and the secrets, the hidden things, the things under the surface that have caused illusion, that have cast illusion, you're going to get past it. You're going to see it for what it is. And then when you see it, you don't have to think that way anymore. And you'll stop thinking that way, but you couldn't have learned it. You couldn't have broken free from it and learned that lesson and had that growth had you not been immersed in it in the first place. But you're going to hear something, or you're going to see something about yourself in public, and it's going to make you understand something about who you have been to yourself and where you are actually from. And when you understand where you're from, you understand much better where you are going. Because again, there's nothing like origin to hold you back. There's nothing like family to hold you back. And these are the biggest blind spots because they are the things that are closest to us. They are the things that are the most emotional and least rational to us. So you kind of never see them coming. Now, something else that can happen is on a public stage, 10th house out in the world, you will see something about yourself and you may realize that who you are in the world is not who you are at home. And you'll see some discrepancy between those two. And if you would like to rectify that discrepancy, now is your opportunity to be set free from that because now you see it. But however it looks for you, the point is you'll see it, and it doesn't matter what it is in terms of you should have known differently, you should have done differently. That doesn't matter. That's not the important part. The important part is that you see it, and now you're going to do something about it, and you're going to be different. You're going to transform as a result of having seen it. So you'll be set free from something, and you'll be able to move on your path in the unique way that you need to.
If you call it